outside is not that cold, and if you take my hand, I'll walk with you to Georgia.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Country with Celine. On today's show, we welcome Presley Tennant.
Don't be a joker or play me for a fool. Come on, baby, show me your next move. I'll be the queen to your king since you asked me to, but don't for now, 'cause I'm taking a gamble on you.
Presley, how are you doing today?
I'm doing so great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks for asking. I just have to bring this up. I should have probably brought this up to you prior to the interview, but you know what? It's okay. We're going to talk about it now. Your name is Presley. Okay.
Yes.
So, by chance, are you a Presley fan? Are you an Elvis Presley fan?
I definitely am, but everyone thinks I was also named after him, and I really wish that was the story, but it was like my parents wanted a boy, and they were going to name me Preston, and then when they found out I was a girl, they were like, oh, Presley works. But I was like, that would be a lot cooler of a story to say I was named after Elvis, and like now I do music. Like, it kind of just would make sense, but it's really not that cool.
It's okay. So, that's still an interesting story. It's still, I mean, you can always fake it and just say, yeah, I was named after Elvis Presley. Did you watch the movie by chance?
I have not, but I've been dying to go see it. I want to see it so bad. By the time I had to like some time to really like sit down and be like, okay, I'm going to the theaters. Yeah. I will not fall asleep. So
trust me, you will not fall asleep watching this one. It was so good. For anybody who's watched Elvis, you know how good it was. And for anybody who has not watched it, you guys gotta go. Like, Presley, I'm going to message you literally next week and be like, so did you go watch it? Austin Butler played Elvis to a T, and he sang in it too. That's the thing that's crazy. Like, he sounded like Elvis, like the way, so I looked it up. The only time they fixed his voice was when Elvis was like older. So when he would sing like If I Can Dream, or like those songs when he got older, that was the only time they like adjusted his voice. But when he was younger and like he played like younger Elvis, he actually sang like and That's All Right Mama. When he sang that song, you heard it was Austin, but it sounded like Elvis too. It was pretty wild. The guy deserves an Oscar, just saying.
My gosh, I need to go watch this then.
You need to. And one more thing before we jump the gun here. There's certain things in this movie that you never would know. And it's so crazy. Like, Lisa Marie said that she felt that Elvis Presley was channeling Austin Butler. And like, yeah, girl.
I know, just thinking about it.
You gotta go. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, so Presley, where are you from? Let's get into know more about you now.
I am from Southern California, a small little town, kind of in the middle of everything. It's called Norco, or also known as Horsetown, USA. So everybody here has horses, and I feel like we're the only people in this town that do not have it. And I'm like, I can go to like Starbucks or Taco Bell, and there's like people like on their horses in the drive-thru, and everyone thinks I'm joking about it, but I swear I'm not. And I'm like, this is just normal. I didn't think it was, I don't know. I thought it was normal, and then I like went to the city for the first time, and I was like, oh, that's not normal. They have sidewalks, and they don't have horse trails or just plain dirt. Yeah.
What?
It's pretty cool. I love it here.
That's awesome. I wish I saw that. The only thing that's interesting about my drive-thrus is maybe seeing someone on an ATV every now and then. That's about it.
I love
to see someone on a horse. Wow. So noted, I have to come to where you live.
Yes.
Put that down on my bucket list now. And now, how did your love for country music start? Was it something your parents always listened to, so you were surrounded by it, or was it something that you grew a love for in your later years in life?
So I will say, I mean, being from where I'm from, everyone around me had always listened to country music, and I've always been like subliminally a part of it all. And so I already had like a for it, but it wasn't something that I really thought I would go into, because when I first started singing, it was mainly like I did a couple like country songs and whatnot, but it was mainly either musical theater or like pop. And so I was in a pop girl group, and so all I kind of knew. And so once that group kind of fizzled out and ended and I continued to go solo, I just continued with what I knew, and that was pop music. And so growing up, I would always do that for, I would say, from 11 to 16 is when I was doing pop music, and then 16 hit, and I just felt like it wasn't me. I felt like I was being persuaded to be something that I'm not, and it just felt so not authentic to who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And that switch, I kind of like just took a little step back from music, and I was like, okay, what do I need to do? I need to figure out who I am, where I am in my artistry. And I like went back to my roots, it seems like, and it just made sense to go to country music. I've never felt more right. As stupid as that sounds and as cheesy as that sounds, it's like that little like pinpoint moment, like, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I was meant to do.
At least you tested out the pop scene, because if you didn't test that out, who knows what genre you might have ended up in. I mean, you never know. And what's this band called? So do you guys have songs like on YouTube that we can search up? Or pardon?
I'm pretty sure there's one of them on there. It was called the 5 LPs, or the 5 Little Princesses. We were all 13 years old, wearing like pink tutus that were rhinestone to the max, singing about the word of God. And yeah, there's a few different music videos, I think, but the one that I am in is Fashion Show. Just skip like the first 30 seconds because I cringe if you watch it.
I am going to take my pen right here and write that down.
Oh.
So I'm going to go back and watch that now. Thank you for that. And I'm sure everybody else is going to want to go back and watch that as well. It's interesting. That's something you don't hear very often, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, that was a time in my life that honestly I was so thankful for it, just because I feel like during that time I thought I was gonna be playing soccer for the rest of my life, and when I was in that girl group, it just changed my mind completely, and I was like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be in the entertainment industry or music industry. I just fell in love with it, and I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else at this point.
Now, who influenced you, like singer, songwriter wise? Like, who did you listen to the most?
I would say I definitely gravitated towards female powerhouses.
Yeah.
Like Miranda Lambert, Christina Aguilera, Whitney Houston, Etta James, anybody along those lines that had like some like real grit and for them. I was like, okay, I love them. And then obviously Kelly Clarkson was one of my top people as well.
Okay, so going off of that point, you were on The Voice and you sang Stone Cold by Demi Lovato, which is that range. Demi Lovato, that is a risk to take when you sing Demi Lovato, but holy gee, you sung that song perfectly. So you listen to Christina Aguilera, you were saying, even like Whitney Houston, those powerhouse voices, listening to them like when you're growing up and like practicing to sing like them, does that actually help? Does that make you sound like them, or were you just born with that voice? Because I don't know, how can you sing like that?
I would say for me, I loved imitating, like learning by imitating. And so whatever they would do, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to try to do it. And then I'd do it until like I know I have it, and probably didn't sound as good as them, but I was like, yep, sounds good in my mind. And so for me, when I was, I guess, copying them in that sense, it taught me a lot about like the way they sing it. And then I kind of like took inspiration from everybody and made my own little sound from it. But there definitely is influences from all those incredible people.
It's pretty crazy how that can happen too, because I feel like a lot of people just automatically assume like you're born with a voice, like you're born, you can sing since you were a baby. Like I'm sure lots of people are like that, but majority of them, they get influenced by who they're constantly listening to. And like your voice changes. Like if I'm listening to some like Alan Jackson, my voice is going to sound like Alan Jackson. If I'm listening to Bon Jovi, my voice will sound like Bon Jovi, Elvis Presley, etc. Celine Dion, like could you imagine? Like, oh, but the voice changes. So it's quite interesting to know that you can adjust your voice like slowly, and like the more you listen to somebody, the more you can eventually, like if you're constantly practicing, of course, one song's not going to do it, but if you're constantly listening, you can eventually like sort of sound like them. But your voice, like, yeah, you have the range and everything, but you don't exactly sound like them. You have your own voice as well. And it's freaking awesome. Like,
Yeah.
awesome. You're welcome, honey. You are welcome. Now, you opened up for big names. So Kelly Clarkson, one of them, Tim McGraw, Cody Johnson, etc. How are those experiences, and what have you learned, especially from Kelly Clarkson, since you were on our team from the Voice? What have you learned from all those notable artists, like watching them perform, or even like just chatting with Kelly?
I would say for me, the thing that I took away the most was when I worked with Kelly. I mean, don't get me wrong, everybody else that I got to open up or share the stage with was incredible, but there definitely wasn't an influence like Kelly that even cares. Just because I did get to know her and like she mentored me so much. And while I was on The Voice, I remember, I think it was my top 24 performance, and we were doing Nothing Breaks Like a Heart. And if you know that song, it's kind of like a Dolly Parton synth pop
Okay.
kitty song. It's like really weird, not really weird, but it's just different than what you would normally expect. And so I was doing that song and I was like, I just don't know how I'm going to be able to do this. Like, this is a little interesting. And she was, let's just make it your own. If you're going to be singing this song and you want to be able to give it your all, you have to make it you. And so that was something that I really took away from. And she was saying how in this industry, you have to go home and look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the day and be okay with who you are and what you put out there. So if you aren't doing that, but from the get-go, you're going to be stuck doing stuff that you don't like. And so when she told me that, it hit me deep for some reason. And I was like, okay, this is something that I really need to like hone in on and really figure out what I want to do. And I will say that she's part of the reason why I switched to country, as well as just, she was just so kind and genuine with everything that she did. And knowing that she also started off, like, she can do everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, she is a woman of many trades.
Yeah.
She does pop, the rock, the country, everything that you can think of. And that was something that I really admired. And so when she told me that, and then I get to see her actually live it out, I'm like, okay, this is like what she did. How am I going to be able to do this as well? And so that was something that really stuck with me.
I feel like Kelly Clarkson has really good advice that she gives us. She seems like a woman of wisdom because, like you said, she can do all things, even a TV show and be on The Voice. Like, she can do everything, that woman. And her voice, too, is unfreaking believable. I swear I still blast Breakaway all the time, even though that was like her younger years. But that song is just like, what's the word I can use? Like, that song is just like a song that you can just blast like at the top of your speaker and just sing, and it hits you. Like, it's just a song that hits your heart. I don't know how to explain it, but like, if you listen to it, which I'm sure you have, it's just like, I don't know, it leaves me speechless. Honestly, that song leaves me speechless. Let's just put it like that. Now, you released a new single called Gamble on You. Now, I was listening to the lyrics. Were you describing your boyfriend in the beginning? Because you said like tatted arm, and then you started saying green eyes, and then I was looking at a photo of your boyfriend. I'm like, he's got a tatted arm, and he looks like he's got green eyes. So is this about your boyfriend?
It is about him. Oh, yeah. And so when I first wrote the song, I was going into a tracking session, and I wasn't in love with one of the songs that I had. So I was like, I can write something better. And so I was like going through the TV channels in the hotel room, and the poker channel came on. And I was like, okay, whatever, I'll leave it there. And then this is like when we first were starting to like talk. We had been going out for a little bit, but we weren't like anything official yet. So I was like, I don't know. I really like him. I have no idea how he feels. I'm taking a risk right now, all this type of stuff. And then I was like, well, I might as well write a song about it. And so I started, and then I looked up at the TV and the poker channel, and I was like, oh my God, gambling. That's like love. Like, you're taking a risk and you don't know if you're going to win big or lose it all. And so I wrote the song, and then the first like couple lines, I feel like it's pretty obvious if you like hear the song, you're like, yep, that's about him. Yeah. So
3 a.m. and you're pulling me in, tattooed skin and a little bit of jib. Your green eyes got me feeling right, and your smile's got me hypnotized. Some say it's a dangerous game. What a shame if I didn't play.
So that song was awesome, but let's chat future-wise. Anything else in the works for you?
There is definitely new music on the way. I can't say too much yet, but there is a couple singles coming out soon for the whole. I'm working on like an album or an EP right now, so just kind of fine-tuning everything and making sure it's exactly how I want before I put the full project out there.
That's going to be super exciting. Now, is there going to be any features on any songs? Any duets?
Possibly. I've been writing a bunch. I finally have some songs where I'm like, oh, this could be good with this person. So it's still in like beginning stages, but I'm very excited for once it's all finished.
If you could pick anybody that you would want to duet with, boy or girl, who would you pick?
I feel like, okay, I would say, this is a hard one.
It just came to me. I'm like, I wonder who she would pick.
I think I would choose, I'll give 3.
Okay,
So
fair enough.
I really love me some Chris Stapleton. He is just insane vocally, and I don't know, just be singing the word "oh" and you're like, yep, I feel that. Like that type of thing. But I also really love Ashley McBryde, Haley Hammock. I just love their writing styles and how it's like them singing whenever they sing because their voice is so distinct.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I ever did a song with them, it'd be like a more like pulled back, like focused on just straight lyrics and the instrumental part of it. So those would be my top 3.
I can see that happening with Ashley McBryde for sure. Even Carrie Underwood, we got to throw that in there.
Yeah, Carrie Underwood, I feel like a no-brainer. Yeah. But it's also Carrie Underwood, and I'm like, girl, I can't keep up with you.
No. I'm sure you can. One day we'll see you out on the stage with all these like big notable artists, and we're just gonna be like, yeah, see, I knew that would happen one day, Presley. I knew that would happen. Now you're also very big on social media. I mean, I should say you have quite a number of Instagram followers, which it's weird to talk about in this day and age because like 10 years ago, who would care? But nowadays it's like social media is so big and TikTok is huge, and you already have 300,000 followers on TikTok. So let's just chat. What advice, what tips could you give to people that want to start gaining more followers and getting more attraction to whether it's Instagram, their Instagram page, or their TikTok page?
I would say do things that like make you, but also I have really learned that everything's about hitting the algorithm. TikTok is a little weird though for me because most of those followers are from like Musical.ly, when like you would do like the weird dances and like on a hoverboard and you would do the weird dances. It was really weird. Don't scroll down. I'm still in the process of trying to like archive them. But I don't know if it was that, but then more recently I've finally figured out how to do it. I'm like, every time I get used to TikTok, I feel like the whole thing changes again, and I'm like, can you keep it still for a little bit? Like I'm not like I'm not on social media like that anymore. But I would just say do everything that makes you, as well as like it makes sure like it would help you like stand out from others.
Mm-hmm. I feel like you have to even pick a certain niche that they call it, and then kind of go from that. Like if it's sports related, music related, whatever it is, rather than have a page that's like A to Z. But sometimes, I mean, when you see something funny, you want to post it. But the odd thing is about TikTok is if you post something that's not what you normally post, that thing gets views, and you're just like, how did that get views when what I've been working on for like months not get views? And then you get so mad. Like TikTok is just like a mind game sometimes, I swear.
Oh yeah. But then I get stuck in the rabbit hole of like scrolling thing, and I'm like, oh, so like I love this. I'm gonna do something like that. And then I just like it, and then I like never think about it again.
Or it's it's like 3 a.m. you're in bed and you're just like scrolling. You're like, I should really go to sleep, but just one more, just one more. And you just like keep going. It's so addicting, honestly. Now, Presley, before I let you go, one more thing. Your fashion I'm like giving you so many compliments here, but like your fashion, I'm just going to say, what stores do you shop at? Come on, give us the deets.
I would say mainly all like my showpieces for the most part are from like Revolve or little one-off boutiques that have kind of like one-of-a-kind pieces. But like everyday stuff is just like some nice athleisure. I love being comfy. I will always be in some leggings and a sweatshirt no matter how hot it is. But I definitely love Revolve as well as just like Urban Outfitters and Boot Barn especially. I love Barn. They have some really cool pieces, especially on their website. Not necessarily by me because everybody has horses, and so it's like all the actual like ranch stuff that you would wear, and I'm like, oh, I would do that, but I don't have horses.
I didn't think Boot Barn had like nice like clothing pieces. They do?
They carry free people now, which is really cool to see.
What?
And that's what I said. I walked in and I saw like these pink shorts and I was like, oh my God, these are so cute. Looked at the brand, it was Free People. And I was like,
wow. Who would have thought?
I know.
I honestly thought Boot Barn just sold like cowboy hats and boots and then belts. That's like it. That's it. Didn't know that. Yeah.
They definitely have in there.
Good to know. Good to know. I'm definitely going to check out Boot Barn, and I'm sure everybody else is definitely going to check out Boot Barn. And Revolve, too. Honestly, that store is, like, so nice. Everything, every piece on there is so nice. But, like, it hurts my wallet. It really hurts.
The part that I love about it is that they have free shipping, and so they, like, send you the return label so you can try everything on. Half the time, I order, like, stuff, and then I'm like, I don't like any of this, so I just ship it all back. I'm sure that I'll probably like get put on a list and it's like, this person is scamming you, and I'm like, I swear I'm not.
You're on the blacklist for Revolve.
Yeah
Yeah.
I have to like a new name.
You know, but you guys are lucky though, like, because you guys live in the States, so I feel like it's so much easier to like buy from American sites, because the stuff to cross the border, we get like DHL charges and all that like crappy stuff where it's like $40, $50. It's like, I'm buying a shirt for $20, but I'm spending $50 on like the duties and then like $10 on a shipping charge. It's like, was it really worth it? But
yeah, maybe that isn't perfect.
It's a tad issue, a little issue, but I digress. Anyways, it was so nice to chat with you, Presley, and I'm really looking forward to hearing new songs from you. And you have a career ahead of you. I'm sure I'm not the only one who said that, but I have to say it when I see it, and you really do. And thank you so much again for chatting with me today.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. It's been a blast.
Wanna thank you, but I just can't find the words to say. I know there's nothing I can't do, and I owe it all to you. You're the solid ground I build my whole world on. I wish it could be half that strong, half that strong. Half that strong.
Hi, Presley. No, don't say hi, Presley. Say hi, Dad.